So, oh, some of you would have seen him this morning. Yeah, Phyllis was there as well. Phyllis, you came back for more. Well done. Where are you, Barbara? That doesn't look like a house.
No, it is not a house. I'm at a resort outside of Bend
Oh,
for a
you
long
are?
weekend. Yeah, and
Okay.
my friend Jennifer, who you met
Yeah.
from California, is here. She's been here the last couple of days and is here until Sunday. So,
Fantastic. Well
so we're
done.
having a lovely time.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm sure you guys are. Okay.
because I
Fantastic.
didn't want to miss practice.
Oh,
So
you're
I'm
so good.
in a little nook in
Okay.
the lodge where we're staying. Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right then. Okay. So again, where was I? Let's just settle into our meditation, a comfortable meditation seated position. The only person that's allowed to lie down is Hin, but she's not here. So as best you can, use your own. Oh, and also Phyllis, but Phyllis is sitting up. She's being held up by her chair. Okay. All right. So just check in with yourself. How are you doing this evening? You could ask that question of yourself that you might ask of a beloved friend. Just check in and ask yourself how you are. Both feet. If you are sitting on your chair with the feet down, both feet are flat on the floor. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And then just relax from the top of the head all the way down to your toes. And then just be aware of the sensation of the breath as you're inhaling and exhaling. And as I was saying to the earlier class, this resting of the tongue on the soft palate of the mouth, there's more benefit to that than just preventing you from dribbling if you're meditating for a long time. So what I discovered from this James Nestor book, and this has been done for thousands of years by yogi practitioners, different Buddhist practitioners in India, placing the tongue on the roof of the mouth actually prevents you from breathing in and out of the mouth. And that in turn contributes to a much healthier body. So it was used, from what I understood, and I'll probably just check it out again, was used to prevent disease and illness. So through the nostrils, the organ of the nose, it's an organ with a huge amount of busyness in terms of preventing pathogens from getting into the lungs and the body. Starts with the little hairs, then there's kind of like some liquid stuff, the structure of the nose, the nasal passages. It's quite intricate. So they say if you can breathe in through the nose, so as you notice your breath coming in and out, just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling through the base of the nose. And in this way, in the Theravada tradition, they get you to breathe in and out of the nose because that's where they're asking you to focus your mind. Then try and see what is in your environment. Notice what sounds are in your environment. Just allow them to be there. And then bring to mind what's going on in your mind, and just allow it without judgment and without criticism. And then you can bring to mind all the people of your life, your beloveds, your best friends, spouses and children, parents. And then there's those people in our life we find difficult, or maybe we're suspicious of or anxious about, but we feel aversion for them. And then there's our strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. And we're going to do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can create positivity with our mind instead. I think then Robina put a post up this morning. I don't know when she did it, but she said it takes the same amount of energy to generate a negative thought as it does to generate a positive thought. Same amount of effort. But if our habit is to generate negative thoughts, we need to put a bit of effort into sort of changing track. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. Logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we turn to the power of reliance. So we start with refuge and then compassion. So we turn to Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're wanting to purify ourselves by using his methods. So we just see him like a doctor, like a healer, not like a higher power or, like a god or something. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And imagine he's made of this radiant, beautiful, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings and the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those people who've harmed you. And we have extra special compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as some kind of problem for them, some kind of suffering down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring out of you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dina Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shayam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dina Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with the body. And next is the purification of your speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all our inappropriate speech and our awkward speech and not saying what we feel like we need to say. Just imagine all this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So Lama Yeshe used to say this. I think this is an analogy. It's quite widely used. It's you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on that switch, and the light instantly dispels the darkness. Well, the same as you're walking down a street, you can't see, you turn on your torch, and you instantly can see everything. It dispels darkness. So imagine the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next, imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar and filling you completely. And this time, it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Really try and experience that. And even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with our body and speech and mind. So think of something that you've been working on for a little while. Maybe you have a theme for the month or the week, or maybe just have something that you want to work on over the weekend you want to focus on. Maybe it's negative self-talk. Maybe something to do with your speech, some actions. And give yourself a reasonable timeline. You know, maybe you only want to sort of do this for like a minute or two. Or maybe you just put your head on the pillow and go, I'm not going to gossip until I wake up in the morning, and you won't because you'll be asleep. This determination to refrain, this decision we make from not harming, is what gives us the strength to change. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on a little bit of emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. In this way, we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So we have a couple of minutes, so just reflect on that for 1 minute. What are the ways in which you recognize that things perhaps don't exist the way you think they do? The way a dog perceives color, the way a human perceives smell versus the way a dog perceives smell. The way you read an email versus the way someone else might interpret it. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this purification to all those people of our life, to all sentient beings, particularly, again, continuing to think of all those people over there in the Middle East. Incredible suffering right now. And then also, of course, up there in Ukraine. So, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Thank everybody.